West Tigers fans, how the heck are we doing? We are back with another collab episode with Claws out. We got Bruce here. How you doing, mate?
I am fantastic, man. It's good to be back. I've missed you. I've missed this. I've missed talking about the West Tigers. So I'm keen. I'm keen to see what we get up to in this episode.
Absolutely, and right back at you, brother. And if you guys don't remember, Bruce joined us, man, it has been a while, probably mid-season of 2025. And we talked all things Tigers, sign-ins, kind of his thoughts on the season up until that point. So he is a vet to this channel and one of the ones that, is an OG supporter of the channel. So appreciate him being on. Where can people find you right off the bat on social media, Bruce?
You can follow me on Close Out AU. I believe on social media I just post my non-filtered I guess content on West Tigers and West Tigers only because best club in the bloody world, mate.
Oath, brother. Couldn't agree
Man,
more.
we've got the number one supporters. Yes, we've struggled, the last 10, 15 plus years, but man, the light is at the end of the tunnel and we're nearly there.
It is, and just recently we found out that entered into the Tigers system. That is Jerome Luai's younger brother, Cavalry. Have you heard about that yet?
I've heard about it. I read a few things yesterday about it. I'm like, mate, what a name.
Ah,
Like, call the cavalry. Like, mate. And I think with that signing, I think we're probably going to get to it later, but I think it's a smart move on the Tigers' behalf and how I look
hmm
at things.
hmm
And I guess perspective is always key. So I think we'll leave that until we get into that more.
Absolutely. Sweet. All right, so let's rip in. I kind of want to start with your honest thoughts and reaction that you had when we got our draw. Like, obviously, the big controversy is the round one bye that we copped again, second time in
Yeah.
3 years. But
Mhm.
overall, I assume you've had a chance to look at the draw, look it
Yeah.
over, probably picked a few games that you're real pumped about. Give me your overall thoughts and explain kind of your thought process behind how you think we're going to go up against these opponents this season.
I think everyone is on the same boat as me when it comes to our round one draw again. Like, mate, it's the second buy in 3 years we've copped. And regardless if AI's done this or someone's done it, it's a big oversight. Like, I don't find it fair. Like, really, we don't have to wait till round two until we play a game because round one is technically over 2 weeks. So we're
Mhm.
waiting 3 weeks until we get to play our round two game because you got the two games in Vegas, and the following week is round one starts in here in Oz, and then our round two, which is technically our round one, or our first game starts the following week. That is just gonna drag and drag and drag for us fans. Like it's gonna be so frustrating seeing other teams play. I get it, but you know what? At the end of the day, it is what it is. We can complain all we want about it, but nothing's gonna change.
Mhm.
But when it comes to round two, our first game of the season, I kind of call it a redemption game. We're versing the Cowboys at Leichhardt. The last time we played at Leichhardt with the Cowboys, that was our game to bag. We had that game, and us being us, we just know how to lose games that we should
Mhm.
have won. So to me, that's our redemption game. So that's probably our first game of the season is one of the most is the first games and the most game like the best game I'm looking forward to.
Plus a
Uh,
rivalry. Like it's kind of a rivalry game too, right? '05
yeah, like
throwback. It's a
I
big
think
game.
yeah, anything that has a lot of history, especially with the grand final and '05 grand final, I'll call it some sort of rivalry. Some may agree, some may not. But I think one of the big games I'm kind of looking forward to is our Battle of the West or Battle of the Cats, Tigers versus Panthers. But I
Mm.
don't think we cop that game till round 12 or round 19.
Yeah, and we do have a
Either one of
preseason game
them.
against them too, which will be a good indicator of how
Yeah,
things will end
so it'll
up.
be a while. It'll be a while to that game, but I think that's one of the big games we're looking forward to because when we've ever laced our boots up against Penrith, it's been a really good game, or it's been one out of the five times it's been a blowout. But I think depending how we perform till then, we'll see how that's how our season will go.
Absolutely, man. And so a big part of, I think, our success this coming season, 2026, well, let's go back real quick. A big part of our success in 2025 was our leadership, especially Jerome Luai, Api Korosai, and Benji Marshall, that trio. And I think going into 2026, we're going to need to keep that leadership. And what I mean by that is when Jerome Luai stepped up and led the team halfway through our season, once all the drama was over, once we were like, you know what, we've had enough, we saw a massive difference within our team, right?
100%. Because I think the one thing that a majority of our fans expected was our whole season to turn around from one player. And I think we kind of spoke about this briefly the last episode I was on, where you can't expect a massive signing like Jerome Luai to come in his first season and do everything and make sure we're in playing finals, right? He is doing his job from within the club. Like the culture has changed. You can tell. You can see how much insight we've gotten through the West Tigers social medias. And plus, by the way, W social media team for the West Tigers because they're doing a fantastic job.
Heat,
Like if
bro.
anything, like it's not even a biased opinion, but it's mate, it's the best like social media team we've got. Like
Oh yeah,
to this in terms of the
absolutely.
content, like the inside spills, how they want to connect with us. Like we've all felt connected with that social media team, right? But again, back to Laura, like, yeah, I think we just had too much high expectations of this one marquee player, this one massive player coming and changing and doing everything for the club. Whereas he's done his part on the field, but he's done most of his part off the field. Because what you do off the field will eventually pan out and be painted on the field.
Mm.
Uh, and that's where I stand with Laura. Like, am I glazing him? Maybe, but at the same time, I think perspective is key. Like you got to see where when a player comes in and what he does for his side. Like I think we just had our expectations way too high for him to turn this whole club around. And don't get me wrong, he has. I think he's done his part because he can't do everything himself.
Mm.
Again, he's a leader, right? He's not the only one. You know, Appy has started when Appy, signed for our club. Then you got Terrell that comes in. You know, you have all these guys with experience, like say Tito. He has experience winning from a winning culture. He can kind of guide that winning culture into leadership into the group where the group's probably some of the players have been playing here for the last 5 to 8 years,
Mm.
and we're just used to losing 24/7. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of where I stand with the whole Luai
For sure.
thing.
Yeah, and I think, man, like it's going to come down to leadership. Like if we can have someone that has clear vision, clear authority, and leadership, we will win games. We will go deep. We came so freaking close to finals, which is just absolutely amazing. Like we weren't even close to the spoon. What did we finish? 10th or 11th this year?
I think 12th. Yeah,
12th. Yeah, somewhere
I
right,
think
right
we'll
there.
14th, yeah, I think we're on par for if we won our last game, we're on par for I think 10th or 11th. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Still
we'll take that over the
huge.
stand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
huge
massive,
improvement, man. And like
massive.
that just goes to show that one, Benji knows what's going on. The team knows what's going on. But like you said, the not only the media team, but the whole organization, like the NRL West Tigers franchise itself, is actually making some difference, making some change. Richo's come in, he's gotten rid of the bad things that we need to get rid of and added in new good things. And so from my 9 to 5s in communications and marketing. And so I'm just sick and tired of seeing every footy team marketing and social media looking the same. And the West Tigers, our media team has absolutely kicked the freaking ball out of the park. Like they have just killed it. They're making it personable. They're adding their own flair on it, their own look, and just doing their own thing. And people are connecting. People want to be here. I've seen our numbers and on their page growing and growing and growing because something is happening here, and I'm so pumped. And so with that, man, new signings. Like we know we signed KPP last year, coming into this year, Javon, Maverick, like all these guys, and some like Bunty Afoa, like these past couple weeks, we are signing new guys. Titans, Patrick, what's his last name? Patrick Herbert.
Yeah.
Like we've got all these new kids coming through, these young guns. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think this is us setting up for this season, or do you think it's setting us up for future seasons?
You can say it's a bit. I can say it's a bit of both.
Mm,
I think because what last year was Law's first year, and
mhm,
he's our first marquee signing. So I think our year starts when Law starts.
mm.
Because that's the start of Benji's era. That's the player he wants. I think that's the main guy that Benji wanted, and it started from Law. So 2025 was Benji's official first year. Like, yeah, he probably coached half a season before that, whatever. But this, I would say, it's his first year with the player that he wants and the player that he's signing. Now, when it comes to, our players that we've signed throughout the year and then for next year, I can probably like hand on heart and say strongly we have a lot to look forward to
Mhm.
for KPP. I think in the Ashes series, he was probably one of the best for England, if not the best for England, outside
100%.
of
Hands
Dom
down.
Young and whatnot. Like, man, his offloading skills is crazy. He's insane. And if he's playing on the left side with Luo, if Luo's in that number 6 role, mate, we're scoring tries every single game, every day of the week on the left edge. Um, Maverick Gaia, he's one that hasn't probably had a lot of game time, but I think there's just big, massive things to look for. He's still young,
Hmm.
like, and I think we've got a lot of depth at this point. But the one signing that really does surprise me is Bunty Afoa.
Mm.
And not in what people think. I think it's how the Tigers got him on a development contract.
Yeah,
How the heck do you land back fence Bunty on a development contract?
it's a
That
great point.
and even though it's just for a season, how the hell did we manage to get him on a development contract? He's not 18. You know what I mean? And I think that's where Richo Smart comes in, and that's where you can kind of be like, okay, all these finer details, like you can overlook, okay, it's a development contract, whatever, cool. He's signed for a year. But you got to think that it's those little things that he does for our club, or that our club is doing as like, in general, it goes a long way. Because I
Mm.
don't think our top 30 is filled yet. I think we've got like 3, 4 players off our top
Yep.
30. So who knows? And like again with Patrick Herbert, he was unannounced. I don't know if he's even signed a contract. We just saw a post on Instagram
Saw
that
him at training.
exactly,
Crazy.
you know what I mean? But my only thing with Patrick Herbert is pass the ball.
Yeah, right.
You gotta pass the ball, mate. That's all I gotta say about him. But besides that, man, like it's for 2026, it looks bright, but for the future, it looks brighter.
Mm.
And I think it also comes down to two players as well. Once we have these two players kind of off our chest and all these social media news about him, which is one Luai, his contract clause,
Hmm.
and then Buller.
Yeah.
We can finally confirm and lift those weight off our shoulders for them to actually like, okay, they're done, they're sorted. That's just more relief off the fans' shoulders and probably a lot of relief off Benji's shoulders. But then again, what he knows is probably something that we don't know. You know what I mean? And look, if I have to look into, say, law, and if I can kind of speak or try to speak for everyone or let everyone know what my thought is, that you gotta remember, regardless of the clause, it's there for protection,
Hmm.
right? And you can kind of see it in Luai's game and how he is as a person. Like he's committed. Like, do you really think he's gonna come here, play for a year, and try to look elsewhere? Or come play for a year and a half and look elsewhere?
Mm.
Like, mate, he's got a legacy. He's already had that with the Penrith Panthers for 4 years, like 4 premiership rings, right? And playing 5 grand finals in a row. Now, for that's your legacy kind of started. Like, that's that dynasty. And then now you're kind of breaking out of the system. You move away from your brothers. You move away from your Sidney Crichtons. You move away from your Brian To'os. You move away from your Nathan Clearys. And then you go on your own. Like, your brothers aren't there anymore. Now you've created a new family. And so he's starting that again from scratch. Like, no one's going to expect you to do or take a team from 17th, last place, wooden spooners, back to the top in top eight, playing finals, and knowing our history record, 13 plus years of no
Mm.
final. I don't think he's that type of player. Like, he's all in. You know what I mean? Like, he's there for himself, but it's also there for the team.
Mm.
And like, I think we've all heard about Luai. about oh, they got nothing to worry about, they look after my family.
Hmm.
Trust me, I don't think we have anything to worry about. If he does come back, what, by April, that has to make a decision about, okay, I'm leaving, that would surprise me and I'll cop all the bullets. I'll cop the head. That is fine, but I strongly believe and kind of look into it and like just having perspective, because perspective is always key. That he's gonna stay here long term because
Hmm.
he's got a legacy and he's gonna be here for life. And you know what is a good example at looking at that as well? Look at Stephen Crichton.
Mm,
Moves to the Bulldogs. You know, he's there for like what, 2 seasons already. And he signed a long-term deal to 2031.
mm,
They're loyal, like bro, those boys are loyal. Like I don't see Spencer Leniu leaving the Roosters anytime soon. But one person I do think might leave is Bizza.
mm.
He could stay Panthers long term, but he could move. If it was to move, it could be to either one of those clubs. Bulldogs, Panthers, I mean Bulldogs, Tigers, Roosters, maybe not, but
I would take him at the Tigers, honestly.
oh, 100%,
All,
100%.
all
You're
day.
stupid not to take him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all day. So
But
let me ask you this. So going off leaving our legacy, seeing signing, I totally agree with you around Jerome Luai. Like, yeah, to put that expectation on one individual player in one season is just ridiculous. And he is here for the long haul. He's said that many of times. Jareem Buller, we've just signed Jack Attard, which
yep.
he's a fullback. Does it make you a little suspicious or a little nervous that, hey, maybe Richo and Benji know there's something else going on with Dream behind the scenes that we don't to make us sign someone like Jack? Or this is where I'm at. Dream Buller's long term is going to be not in the number one jersey with the West Tigers, and we're going to have Jack in number one.
Oh, that's an interesting take. That is a very interesting take. Yeah, there's a lot of speculations with, whole the whole Dream Buller signing and with his manager, like Mitchell Moses. Sorry, not Mitchell Moses. His manager Moses.
Yeah, yep.
Um, I don't like that guy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, me neither,
Just because
brother.
what he's done for the club. I think maybe Richo is probably trying to do his best, shake hand, make amends because Buller's manager has dealt with our past CEOs and whatnot for the last how many years, they've and those people have tarnished our club, right? And to see them go is such a big relief. Seeing Richo come in is a massive relief because what he's done for the Bunnies and what he's done in the past, right? And so for the whole Buller situation and the Jack Attard situation, I think when I saw Jack sign, I don't know much about him, but I'm like, okay, that's a nice depth signing.
Hmm.
Like we may do need another fullback. Like yeah, we've got our Heath Masons there. He can play a few positions. We have Tito. He can play fullback. But do I think Tito's a fullback? No, I think he stays on the wing.
Yep.
As far as I'll push him maybe in the centers, but he's our wing. But with the whole Buller thing, and then that came up with Pappenhausen leaving the Storms. I'm like, hang on, is this something that might click? Like, if Buller doesn't activate his contract clause, which is his current clause with his ex-manager, I think we'll
Hmm.
kind of know that story. Does that mean we jumped for Pappenhausen? So that was my kind of theory behind it. Like, oh, fuck, does he come back home?
Mm.
Um, at this moment, not looking likely. Am I waiting for it? Do I want it to happen? I would want it to happen if Buller doesn't sign on. But at this
Yeah.
point, I would rather Buller sign on only because Buller is our future of the club.
Yep.
Uh, you can just kind of tell, like, we don't know him personally, but you can just kind of tell he just loves being around the boys. He loves being there. He wants to be a Tiger.
Hmm.
But the only people that are going to guide him away from it is his manager, because his
Mm.
manager doesn't like us. So whatever's going in the background, and I hope it goes well. I hope it goes in our favor that he signs on. The money contract situation, that's another thing. Is he worth 900K? Is he not? To me, is he worth that? No, he's not on the level of,
Yeah,
Pappenhausen. He's not on the level of Tedesco yet.
I
He's still
agree.
young. He's got like what, 10, 15 years in front of him probably,
Yeah.
So yeah. With when I again back, I guess back to the whole your question, I think Jack is there for depth. Um, would they have signed him just in case Bola didn't want to sign on. Yeah, for sure, 100%. That could be a partial reason. I half believe it, but at this point, I think something's going to be happening for Buller, and Buller's going to stay a Tiger.
Any day now, man, for him and Jerome, I feel like it's any day we should hear something, whether
Yeah,
it's a negotiation's been undergone or a sign in or like a signing date. Like there's just got to be something. And I think once, tickets are live, I think it's December 4th for Magic Round tickets start, like all of that, we might hear a little more about that.
yeah.
But yeah, and I guess another big thing is what are we doing with Hamasi Makasini, brother? Like he debuted with us last year. He freaking scored a try in his debut game. He's this young gun that is just absolutely relentless. He's just unstoppable. He's powerful. And he has that spirit of I want to be better, I want to learn, I want to be the best, all while doing it humbly, right? And so the big question is, this is my hot take, is he's going to have an amazing off season. He's going to show up preseason, and I think he's going to have the starting spot over Stafford Toa. I feel like that could be a great possibility for us. What are your thoughts?
That is a great possibility. I think the problem that we have is we have a lot of outside back depth.
Hmm.
We've got a lot of wingers, we've got a lot of centers, right? And those are the positions he plays. Now, that's a great problem to have because you'd rather have depth than have no depth at all. Because imagine once Stafford goes injured for the next 6 months and
Right,
you've got to come in, you've got to have Heath Mason play on the wing, or
right.
you got to move Buller to the wing and put Heath Mason at fullback, you know what I mean? So our depth is great, but when it comes to him, and on your hot take that he may take over Stafford's spot, it's very likely because Stafford is very injury prone.
Yeah.
But that doesn't take away of how much of a good player he is. Like
Right.
how many
Absolutely.
times, like how many times this season has he turned nothing into something?
Hmm.
Like a fourth tackle play, they're out, they went wide on the wing, play stopped, and he just goes forward, beats four people, and then scores a try. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Like nothing, like I think that's the good thing about Stafford. Like he can turn something or nothing to something. With Macassini, that's such a hard one for me because I think the only thing I get worried about, and it's the same thing with like the whole talent silver situation. Whereas you're such a young guy, you got so much depth, and you have like you've got your Taruvas that are locked in his spot. You got Stafford's locked in his spot. You've got Taylor May that's locked in his spot. I need to beat these guys to lock my spot in the squad. Or
Yeah.
these guys have to be injured, which I don't want them to be injured to play a game of footy. And so I think for me, the worry is them running out of patience.
Mm.
Like, okay, I know I'm a good player, but I don't want to wait another year playing SG ball or whatever it is to finally play NRL.
Mm.
And that's what happened to Talent Silver. You know, he's young. What? He's not even 20 yet, or he's probably just
Hmm.
turned 20.
Yeah.
And he just didn't want to stay behind Appy for another season or two. Right? He's just okay. I've got the taste of NRL footy. I've played 10 games already. No, I want to play footy. Like if you
Mm.
don't choose me over, I'll skip. I'm gone. Well, see you later. Bye. And
Hmm.
that's the last thing I want to, I want to see to our club is lose another a young gun. Because Talent Silver, we gave him his color, we gave him opportunity. Same as Galva, the doggies. We gave him his
Yeah.
opportunity, and he goes and turns his back on us. Cool. See you later. Bye. You don't want to be here. We don't want you anyways. So
Absolutely.
I don't want that kind of happening. Like that's my kind of scarce right now. If that was to happen to Macassini, which I don't see happening. Like Macassini seems like a such young, nice guy, and is willing to learn. Like seeing him kind of I guess speak on like Matty G's podcast. He's willing to learn. And so if he can keep those kind of that good head on his shoulders, and even if it means he lays back off this whole year and he plays probably like 5 games in a row this year, I think it's a win for us. But to him, again, I think just comes down to if he's patient enough.
Absolutely, man. And that's a great point. And like you said, after hearing him talk on Speak Free podcast, and then after hearing him talk post game and seeing his debut and his news interviews and all that, like he seems so bought into this club, so appreciative of Benji for giving him an opportunity and for the boys coming around him. Like I
Yeah,
don't see a world where he moves on for selfish reasons. I could see a world where he gets thrown an insane offer that would be stupid to refuse. And if
yeah.
we can't promise him game time, like I can definitely understand that for what's best for him, his family, all of that. But he's hoping that don't happen, eh? So, okay, let's start wrapping things up. Who do you think, or who do you hope has one of the best breakout seasons of 2026 amongst our squad?
So this was a controversial one for me because I made this whole Team of the Year post
Mm.
on the Cause Out page, and I forgot to put an honorable mention. The honorable mention is was either had to be an honorable mention or he was going to be in the squad. And the breakout year would be Sione Fanu.
Mm,
He was bloody amazing this year. Like
hmm
there's be times he'd starting or he'd come off the bench and you can just tell like the momentum of the game just change
mm.
when he's on. And like his worth ethic is crazy. Like honestly, my opinion, Sione Fanu has probably had the breakout season so far. Um for us, especially.
Well, isn't he one of the ones that hasn't been locked in? Like, isn't he an off-contract player technically, like next season or this season or something?
I think
I'm
next
pretty sure
season.
next
I
season.
think
So
next season. Yeah.
my worry is like, why haven't we locked him in for further past that season? Being a top five player for probably the last couple years, right? Like that he's
Yeah.
debuted with us. Like,
And you know what? Like, I also think about like when it comes to those contract talks with those brothers. Like, you got the three brothers, all the Fano brothers. They finally have the privilege to play together.
yeah,
And remember, I don't know if you remember that game where all three brothers scored a try.
it was epic.
And that's history. That's never been done before.
Yeah,
Three sets of brothers scoring a try in a game.
yeah.
And I think that kind of lays down with them. Like when it comes to contract talks, yeah, you can have the Cowboys after you, can have the Doggies after you, can have Roosters after you. But I think that all comes down to their brotherhood because they finally had the opportunity to play together. And I think the next step is, okay, we're finally playing together. We want to play finals together. Or
Mm,
we want to go in the grand final for the Tigers together. Because I've heard Latu on those content or social media days they have during training, and they just want to give back to Benji. Like you can
yeah,
just tell deep in their souls, they just want to give back to Benji. They
yeah.
want to give back to the club because the club's given them opportunities like their dreams to fulfill, whereas it's playing an NRL game or it's buying their parents a house or it's being able to feed your kids.
hmm
Like you can just tell how much those things mean to them. And I guess for them wanting to pay that back, I don't like doubt that at all. So do I have, some sort of scares that they will leave the club? Maybe down the future, but at this very moment, I don't think they want to play outside each other. They want to play
Absolutely.
together. They want to play on one team. They want to play for the Tigers. And again, with the brother situation, I think comes down the same with the May brothers. Like with the whole when we negotiated Taylor May's contract talks. That was a smart move on their behalf because the older brother, Tyrone, is also off contract at the same time.
hmm
Terrell as well.
Yeah.
So I
It's
think,
it's
yeah,
it's gonna be one of those things, brother, where I think like you said, it's that brotherhood, and it's going to be a package deal. It's like, hey, you want
yeah,
Siani, you getting Latu, and now you get Samuela as well. And
yeah,
honestly, I'm not mad about that. So,
yeah.
well, brother, thanks for jumping on the pod. It's been way too long. As we ramp up into the season, definitely going to have you on more regularly on the channel if you're keen for that. But yeah,
Always,
it's been
brother,
real.
always.
It's been real. So yeah, again, make sure you guys go follow Claws Out. Was it Claws Out AU?
Yeah, that's the one.
On Instagram. You on TikTok or anything?
No, just on Instagram. Just
Just on
keep an
Instagram.
for now.
It
Yeah.
gives you the latest breaking news on West Tigers. We collab a lot on posts, so make sure you check him out there. Make sure you smash the like and subscribe button. It does help a creator out. And Brucey, chat to you later, mate. Thanks for jumping on, eh?
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. We'll see you guys next time, eh?
That's it. Up the Tigers, baby.